Sa Luzon, Visayas at Mindanao. Welcome po sa ating DepEd online tutorial, ang Itulay, at ito po ang Masalino Day Monday, kasama of course ang inyong math coach na si Tutor of Hill. So welcome po dito sa ating Grade 10 Mathematics at welcome din po sa ating Quarter 2, Week 1.
Hello everyone! I am Tutor King from SDO Tarlac Province, ang makakasama ninyo dito sa DepEd Itulay for Mathematics Grade 10.
Hello mathletes from all over the Philippines. Welcome to our DepEd Itulay online tutorial, kung saan ating itutulay ang pagkatuto ng bawat batang Pilipino sa Mathematics 10. I'm Tutor Ruel, your math coach in Math 10.
Okay, so mag-start na nga tayo ng ating discussion for Quarter 2, Week 1. Kasama niyo of course ang inyong mga DepEd Itulay Mathematics coaches from Grade 10. Ako si Tutor of Hill at kasama nga natin mamaya si Tutor King at si Tutor Ruel. Okay, so sabi ko nga kanina, tayo ay nasa Quarter 2, Week 1. At ang ating pag-uusapan mga Grade 10 learners ay tungkol sa graphs o polynomial functions with Tutor of Hill, Tutor Ruel, and Tutor King. Muli po, nais nating i-acknowledge ang ginagamit po nating module as reference for this session, ang DepEd Cordillera Administrative Region para po sa Mathematics 10 Quarter 2, Week 1 Graphs of Polynomial Functions. So what are the objectives for today's lesson? Number 1, describe and interpret the graphs of polynomial functions. Number 2, graph the polynomial functions. Now, mathletes, let's have the warm math exercise. Let's have the review. Our objective is to identify whether polynomial is a function or not a function. Natatandaan nyo ba kung ano ang pagkakaiba ng function at not a function? Now let us start answering the following questions. Given function number 1 or given example number 1, p of x is equal to x plus x squared plus x cubed. Is this a function or not a function? Isulat lamang ang f kung function at nf kung not a function. The answer is f, function. Given number 2, p of x is equal to x to the 4th power minus 1 over 8x. What is your answer? The given is f, function. Now let's have given number 3. P of x is equal to 3 over x. Is it a function or not a function? The answer is NF, not a function. Given number 4, f of x is equal to 9 square root of x plus 2x. Is this a function or not a function? The answer is NF, not a function. Next up, let's have f of x is equal to x raised to the 4 over 2. Is it a function or not a function? The answer is f, function. Next, we have p of x is equal to x raised to 1/2 plus 2. Is it a function or not a function? What is your answer? The answer is NF, not a function. Another one, p of x is equal to 12. Is it a function or not a function? The answer is F, function. Next up, we have p of x is equal to 5x plus 1. Is this a function or not a function? The answer is F, function. Did you get a perfect score? Very good, mathletes. Di ba napakadali lang na i-identify kung ano ang function at hindi function. But let us proceed to our main topic for this afternoon. Let's have the math talks. Our topic is about the graphs of polynomial functions. Let us try to observe the following graphs. We have the graph of P of x is equal to the quantity x plus 3 times the quantity x plus 2 times the quantity x plus 1. Another one, we have P of x is equal to the quantity x plus 2 times the quantity x plus 1 times the quantity x minus 1 times the quantity x minus 2. Just observe the given graph, okay? Next, let's have another example of graphs. The first one is P of x is equal to negative times the quantity x plus 1 raised to the second power times the quantity x minus 1 times the quantity x minus 2 raised to the second power. While the other graph is the P of x is equal to negative quantity x plus 3 times quantity x plus 1 times quantity x minus 2 times quantity x minus 4. Now let us try to study each graph. Starting off with the P of x is equal to the quantity x plus 3 times quantity x plus 2 times quantity x plus 1. Pag-aralan natin kung ano yung mga characteristics na meron ng graph na ito. In order for us to do that, let's have identify polynomial function, leading coefficient, whether the a sub n is greater than 0 or a sub n is less than 0, degree of the polynomial, whether it is even or odd number, the end of the graph, whether the left tail or the right tail. So now, given the function p of x is equal to the quantity x plus 3 times the quantity x plus 2 times the quantity x plus 1, the leading coefficient will be, paano nga ba kinukuha ang leading coefficient? Kapag pinagsama-sama natin lahat ng terms, yung ating minultiply na natin yung quantity x plus 3 times quantity x plus 2 times quantity x plus 1, kung ano ang coefficient ng ating degree of polynomial o yung pinakamataas na exponent na meron sa ating function, yun ang ating magiging leading coefficient. On this given, the leading coefficient is greater than 0 dahil ang sagot ay 1. Very good. How about the degree of polynomial? Is it even or odd? Kapag pinagsama-sama natin yung x plus 3, x times 2 at x plus 1, or x plus 3, x plus 2 at x plus 1, what do you think will be the degree of polynomial? Is it even or odd? The answer is odd, because the highest exponent that can be found on that given polynomial function is 3. How about the end behavior of the graph, the left tail? Rises or falls? The answer is false. And if you will notice dun sa ating graph, sa pinaka-right tail, it rises. Very good, no? So sa pamamagitan ng pagtingin lamang sa graph, nadidescribe na natin kung ano yung mga characteristics meron ang ating polynomial function. Nakuha ba? Now let us try another example. How about this second given example? P of x is equal to the quantity x plus 2 plus the quantity x plus 1 plus the quantity x minus 1 times the quantity x minus 2. What will be the answer? Let us identify the leading coefficient. The leading coefficient is greater than 0. Kasi kapag kinumbine natin yan, if we will get the product of x plus 2, x plus 1, x minus 1, and x minus 2, the leading coefficient will be equivalent to 1, and 1 is greater than 0. How about the degree of the polynomial? Ano kaya ang highest exponent na meron sa polynomial function na ito? And that is even, because the highest exponent is 4. How about the end behavior of the graph? What did you notice about the left tail? Is it rises or it falls? The answer is rises. How about the right tail? The answer is rises. Very good. Now let's have the third example. We have this given graph, and let us check the characteristics of this graph. polynomial function p of x is equal to negative times the quantity x plus 1 raised to second power times quantity x minus 1 times the quantity x minus 2 raised to second power. What will be the leading coefficient? The answer is a sub n is less than 0. If you will notice, there is a negative sign sa labas ng ating first given binomial term. At dahil dyan, magkakaroon tayo ng negative leading coefficient. Degree, is it even or odd? Kapag kinumbine mo yan, the highest exponent will be 5, and the answer is odd number. Next, what is the end behavior of the graph? The left tail rises or falls? The answer is rises. How about the end behavior of the graph? Right tail rises or falls? The answer is false. Very good. Let's have another example. Observe this given graph. Identify again the characteristics of this graph by the leading coefficient, degree, and behavior of the graph on the left tail, and end behavior of the graph on the right tail. The function is p of x is equal to negative quantity x plus 3 times the quantity x plus 1 times x minus 2 times x minus 4. What do you think will be the leading coefficient? Is it greater than 0 or less than 0? The answer is less than 0. How about the degree? Is it even or odd? That is even. Pag kinumbay natin ang lahat ng ating binomial terms, the highest possible exponent is 4. How about the end behavior of the graph? Left tail, rises or falls? Kita naman, no? It falls. How about the end behavior of the graph? Right tail, rises or falls? Same with the left tail, it falls. If you will notice, grade 10 mathletes, ang pinag-uusapan natin ay characteristics ng graph o polynomial function considering the leading coefficient and degree. So how is that? There are 4 cases of the leading coefficient test. Given the polynomial function in standard form, p of x is equal to a sub n x a raised to the n power plus a sub n minus 1 times x raised to the n minus 1 plus a sub n minus 2 times x raised to n minus 2 plus and so on up to a sub 1x plus a sub o, wherein the first case is if our leading coefficient is positive and the degree is odd, therefore, the end behavior of the graph, kapag sa left, it falls. Kapag sa right, it rises. Take note of that. Case number 1, positive leading coefficient, add yung degree of polynomial, automatic, ang end behavior of the graph, sa left tail will falls and the right tail will rises. Case number 2, if the leading coefficient is negative, the degree is odd, our end behavior of the graph in left tail rises while the end behavior of the graph in right tail falls. Now let's have our case number 3. If the leading coefficient is positive and the degree is even, our end behavior of the graph, which is the left tail, rises and the right tail also rises. Another case, case number 4. If the leading coefficient is negative and degree is even, the end behavior of the graph in the left tail falls, in the right tail falls. Nakuha ba ang ating mga cases? So those are the 4 cases of leading coefficient test. Now, do you still remember how to graph a polynomial function? Or at least how to graph a function? Let us try to review the steps in graphing polynomial functions. Step number 1, write the function in factored form. Step number 2, determine the end behavior of the graph of a given polynomial. Step number 3. That's 3.A. Find the zeros of the polynomial function and their multiplicity. If quantity x minus a raised to k is a factor of the polynomial function, then a is a zero of multiplicity of k. The multiplicity refers to the exponent of the factors of the polynomial. 3.b. If the multiplicity of the zeros is even, then the graph touches the x-axis or tangent to the x-axis. 3.c. If the multiplicity of the zeros is odd, then the graph crosses x-axis. Para mas maunawaan natin yan, we will have example later on this part of the episode. Step number 4. Construct a table of values for x and p of x. Step number 5. Plot the points and draw a smooth continuous curve to connect the points. And step number 6. Make sure that the graph follows the end behavior as found in the above step. For us to fully understand how to graph a polynomial functions, let us watch this video. For us to further understand how to graph a polynomial function, let us use this example by sketching the graph of the polynomial function p of x is equal to x times the quantity x minus 3 times the quantity x plus 1. For our solution, let us use the steps in graphing the polynomial function. Step number 1. Factor the polynomial function. The given function is already in factored form. Therefore, we just need to copy the function p of x is equal to x times the quantity x minus 3 times the quantity x plus 1. Step number 2. Write all the x-intercepts. The x-intercepts are negative 1, 0, and 3. Plot these values to create intervals. Step number 3. The degree is 3, which is odd, and the leading coefficient is positive 1. Thus, the graph falls on the left and rises on the right. Step number 4. Fill in the table of values for p of x by using x values in each interval. On this given, our x values are negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2, and 3. For us to get the values for p of x, we just simply substitute the values of x to all the x's in the given function. For example, if x is equal to negative 2, we will have negative 2 times negative 2 minus 3 times negative 2 plus 1, which is equal to negative 10. If x is equal to negative 1, we will have negative 1 times the quantity negative 1 minus 3 times the quantity negative 1 plus 1, which is equal to 0. If x is equal to 0, we will have 0 times 0 minus 3 times the quantity 0 plus 1, which is equal to 0. If x is equal to 1, we will have 1 times the quantity 1 minus 3 times the quantity 1 plus 1. The answer will be negative 4. If x is equal to 2, we will have 2 times the quantity 2 minus 3 times the quantity 2 plus 1. The answer is negative 6. And if we have 3 times the quantity 3 minus 3 times the quantity 3 plus 1, the answer is 0. Once we completed all the values for x and p of x, the next step to do is to plot all the points and connect the points with a smooth curve. Do you still remember how to plot the points? Very good. All you need to do is to draw a coordinate plane, an x-axis and a y-axis, and plot the ordered pairs. We will have ordered pairs of negative 2, negative 10, followed by point negative 1, 0, next point 0, 0, next point 1, negative 4, next up is point 2, negative 6, and last we have point 3, 0. Do not forget to write the name of the points for us to determine easily what is that given point. After that, connect the points with the smooth curve. And lastly, write the name of the given graph. On this given example, the name of the graph is p of x is equal to x times x minus 3 times x plus 1. There you go. This is our graph. So great and mathletes! Natandaan niyo ba kung paano mag-graph at nakuha niyo ba kung paano tayo mag-graph ng polynomial functions using our steps na binigay natin kanina? Well, for us to practice more, makakasama natin of course ang isa sa ating mga Math 10 coaches na si Tutor King para sa ating math practice.
Thank you, Tutor Upshield, for that wonderful discussion. Ayan. Hello everyone! I am Tutor King at tara, umpisahan na natin ang ating math practice. Example number 1, let us describe the graph of p of x is equal to x cubed minus 2x squared minus 3x. The first thing that we need to do is to factor it out. So p of x is equal to x cubed minus 2x squared minus 3x, and we can factor it out as x times the quantity of x squared minus 2x minus 3. Since x is the common factor, kaya ilalabas natin ito. And then, x squared minus 2x minus 3, that is still, or it can be factorable. So we have an answer, x times the quantity of x plus 1 times the quantity of x minus 3. So nakuha na natin ang ating factored form. Then, let us identify the degree of polynomial. According to Tutor Abjil, the degree of polynomials, yun yung highest degree. So in this particular polynomial function, the highest degree is 3. Therefore, the degree of polynomial is 3. Then, let us identify the leading coefficient. So our leading coefficient is 1. Now, using the leading coefficient test, the graph of p of x is equal to x cubed minus 2x squared minus 3x is falling at the left and rising at the right. Now, example number 2. Let us describe this function. P of x is equal to the x plus 2 quantity squared times x plus 1 quantity cubed times x minus 1 quantity raised to the power of 4 and times x minus 2. Then, to describe that graph, let us complete this table. So, to find the zeros of p of x, let us set p of x is equal to 0 and then solve for the values of x. We have x plus 2 quantity squared is equal to 0, and then x plus 1 quantity cubed equals 0, and x minus 1 quantity raised to the 4th is equal to 0, and x minus 2 is equal to 0. X plus 2 quantity squared is equal to 0. The value of x is negative 2, and its multiplicity, that is 2. For x plus 1 quantity cubed equals 0, the value of x is negative 1, and its multiplicity is 3. And for x minus 1 quantity raised to the 4th power is equal to 0, the value of x is equal to 1, and its multiplicity is 4. For x minus 2 is equal to 0, the value of x is 2, and its multiplicity is only 1. Now, let us complete this table. For the first 0, it is negative 2, and its multiplicity is 2. And the characteristics of multiplicity is even. And the behavior of the graph, it touches the x-axis at negative 2. And how about the 0 is negative 1? The multiplicity of negative 1 is 3, and 3 is an odd. Therefore, the behavior of the graph, it crosses the x-axis at negative 1. How about 1? Our 0 is 1. Its multiplicity is 4. And 4 is an even. Therefore, it touches the x-axis at 1. How about our 0 is 2? And the multiplicity of 2 is 1. And the characteristic of 1 and the characteristics of multiplicity is odd. And if it is odd, it crosses the x-axis at 2. To sum it up, let us everyone call Tutor Rowell.
Mathletes, complete each sentence by filling in the blanks. Here are the steps in sketching the graph of a polynomial function. Number 1, or the first step, write the polynomial function in blank form. What do you think? Or step number 1, the answer is standard. So write the polynomial function in standard form. How about number 2? Step 2, describe the end behavior of the graph of the given polynomial function using the blank. What do you think? The answer is leading coefficient. Again, you will describe the end behavior of the graph of the given polynomial function using the leading coefficient. How about step number 3? Find the blank of the polynomial and their multiplicity. What do you think? The answer is zeros. You will find the zeros of the polynomial and their multiplicity. So let's move on. How about step number 4? Mathletes, construct a blank for x and p of x. What do you think? Okay, it's table of values. You will construct a table of values for x and p of x. And step number 5, plot the points and draw a blank curve to connect the points. The answer is smooth continuous curve. Again, you will plot the points and draw a smooth continuous curve to connect the points. And these are the steps in sketching the graph of a polynomial function. How was it? This time, you will have the quick check challenge. So what do you think? Kaya ba, mathletes? I know kayang-kaya nyo because you are matibay. For our quick check challenge, mathletes, complete the table to describe the graph of a polynomial function. We have p of x is equal to x times the binomial x minus 2 times the binomial x plus 1 times the square of a binomial x minus 3. And here is the table. We have the zeros, multiplicity of 0, characteristics of multiplicity, and behavior of the graph. So now, are you ready? Okay, let's start. Our first 0 is 0, and its multiplicity is, the answer is 1, and 1 is odd. Now, since 1 is odd, what is the behavior of the graph? Okay, it crosses the x-axis at 0. Now, how about the second 0? What do you think? Our second 0 is 2. And what is its multiplicity? The answer is 1, and 1 is odd, correct. And what is the behavior of the graph? The answer is, it crosses the x-axis at 2. Okay, malapit na matapos. Now, how about the third 0? The third 0 is negative 1. And what is its multiplicity? Yes, the answer is 1. And of course, 1 is correct. It's odd. And what is the behavior of the graph? You got it right. It crosses the x-axis at negative 1. And now, what is the last 0? Okay, correct. It's a 3. And what is its multiplicity? The answer is 2. Mukhang makaka-perfect kayo, mathletes, ha? And now, what is its characteristics? 2 is correct. It's even. And now, the behavior of the graph is okay, very good. It touches the x-axis at 3. How was it? Perfect po ba? Nakuha po ba? Kung hindi na perfect, okay lang po yan. You may review our tutorial and next time, I know that you can perfect this one. Tama ba, athletes? Okay, very good. And now, we will have a math challenge of the week. So question, athletes, are you ready to take the challenge? Yes or no? I know that you are willing and ready to take our math challenge of the week. And that math challenge of the week is okay, a box with no lid was created from a piece of cardboard, 25 centimeter long and 15 centimeter wide. Equal squares are cut from each corner of the cardboard and the sides are folded up. Now, letter A. Write the polynomial function in standard form to represent the volume of the box. And letter B. Graph the polynomial function. What do you think? Kaya bang sagutan? Alam kong kayang-kaya. Now, don't forget to write hashtag Itulay Math Challenge, hashtag Tutor Abhil, hashtag Tutor Well, and hashtag Tutor King. You may post your answers on your Facebook account or you may post it on our official Facebook page. We have DepEd Itulay and DepEd EdTech Unit. I know you can do this one because athletes, you are matibay. So this time, we have Tutor Aghil and Tutor King.
Well, maraming salamat sa lahat ng ating mga great and learners na nakasama natin ngayon sa isang Masalino Day Monday kasama ang inyong mathematics coaches, of course. So, mathletes, abangan kami uli next week. Dito lamang yan sa ating DepEd EdTech Unit at dito, of course, sa ating YouTube channel din. So, maraming salamat po. Ako si Tutor Abhil from SDO Bataan.
I am Tutor King from SDO Tarlac Province.
And I am Tutor Well from SDO Camarines Sur.